Good morning, everybody. My over 40s, 50s, 60s, baby boomers, Gen X, and everybody's welcome. So, millennials, if you guys connect with this, feel free to watch and participate, and welcome. So, I got a question for all you out there. What keeps you from going crazy? Let's face it, the world is designed at this point to make us crazy, to make us stressful. So I want to talk about some things that kind of let me unwind, and maybe you have some of the same things that you do, and maybe you have some ideas that you do that I can use. So this is just my opinion. This is just stuff that, kind of works for me. So hopefully it'll work for you too, and hopefully you're already doing some of these. So in my opinion, get outside. Inside, you're trapped. There's only so many things available to you. That's where your family is, your dogs are, responsibilities. So when I get up in the morning, I start getting pulled in 10 different directions. There's dishes from last night left over. My dog's got to go out. My dog's got to eat. Got to clean up a little bit. Got to get my stuff ready for work. So I get pulled in a lot of different directions. The phone will start ringing. So all that. On top of that, I have birds that I kind of rescued, and they got to be fed, and I got to kind of do their thing in the morning because they're creatures of habit as well. So my advice is get outside, breathe in the fresh air, enjoy some of the sunshine. It's healthy. So fresh air, I'd rather breathe in the fresh air than be inside and all the forced air conditioning or heat or any kind of filtered air that you use in your house. I always find it clogs up my nasal passages. It's not healthy. So I'd rather get outside and breathe that in. Plus, your brain needs oxygen. So go outside, take a couple of deep breaths, relax, and walk your dogs out there. Do what you can. Just get outside. Secondly, I like to get me time. Okay, I didn't do this for the longest time. I get up, go to work, take care of my kids. As my kids got older, I was able to kind of do this. Just kind of schedule your me time. And don't just schedule it. Enforce it. I tell my kids, first thing in the morning, I'm going to drink coffee. I try to do it outside if the weather's permitting, but I'm going to drink coffee and it's quiet time. I don't let the dogs out. I train them. It took some doing because they wanted to do their routines, but I got it down to a science, and I got that half hour, and I get up early to do it, don't get me wrong. So I had to make an adjustment on my part, but I have that quiet me time. So if you like to read, watch TV, just lock yourself in a room and do what you got to do to get that me time. Even if it's just meditating, where you can just sit and think, plan out your day, see what you got to do. I think it's real helpful. If you can do that a couple times a day, or maybe just once, whatever it takes. I also I brought it up, my coffee time. If you're a coffee drinker, you know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you like tea, whatever it is. I created a little atmosphere outside on my patio, my little oasis. So I'll go out there and I'll drink my coffee. I'll go out there when it's dark out and drink my coffee in the morning. As long as weather permits. It's comfortable, it's relaxing. You can listen to nature, listen to the wind blow, listen to the birds chirping. It's relaxing. Gives me that time to kind of plan out my day, think of what I need to do, what I didn't do yesterday. I don't bring my phone unless I'm going to play music. Music, Bugs Bunny said it the best, music calms the savage beast. So I find that even on the most stressful day, I'll play my music. And if you don't have your PlayStations, if you don't have your music scheduled yet, get it done. Okay? Join up, one of the apps, download it to your phone, get your music. I love my 70s music, love my 80s music. So I have it all planned out. So if I'm drinking coffee, I'm doing my Sinatra, Billy Joel. Brings me back to the 70s, my childhood, Sunday mornings. That's what my dad did. He would cook breakfast and he would play Frank Sinatra, because that was really all that was on the radio at the time. He did his AM radio, but they played Sinatra on Sundays, so I kind of got used to that. Other than that, it's silent. I don't scroll. I don't sit there and check Facebook and all those. I just kind of do my own thing, and it helps. It's relaxing. Sometimes the dogs come out, sometimes they don't. My oldest kid, he's moved out now, but when he's here, he'll come and he'll sit with me, and he'll drink his coffee, and we'll just relax. And now he does it at his house. He's a newlywed, has a new baby, but he'll get up at 4 in the morning and drink his coffee in silence. So if you're able to do that, that's very helpful. But once again, getting back to the music. Different times of the day, different me times. You know, I like to cook. So when I cook, I'll play louder music, you know, 80s, music that kind of, it's upbeat, you know, and I won't get into what I listen to at this point, but I'm sure at some point I will. But, you know, 80s rock, I'll definitely do that as I'm cooking, and it helps. It's a very relaxing thing to do. I'm not good at cooking, but I enjoy doing it, so maybe you too. Scrolling. Stop the scrolling, okay? Have you ever scrolled? I've scrolled, and before I know it, an hour has gone past, hour and a half. And I've never once scrolled and got up and said, wow, that was awesome, that was refreshing, okay? It usually stresses me out, because no matter what you do, what you don't like is what the algorithms are going to point you to. So you get into politics, they'll point you towards the political side that you don't like. Sports, they'll show you the athletes that you don't like. Hollywood, if you're frustrated with Hollywood, they'll force feed it down your throat. All you got to do is click on one. The algorithm's going to bounce it back to you. And it stresses me out. So I try to limit the scrolling. Don't get me wrong, there's a difference between scrolling and learning. So if you're learning on Facebook or Instagram, if you're following people that you're learning from, keep doing it. But if you're just mindless scrolling, it's a waste of time. And I might be wrong, but I don't think I've ever done it to where it's really been satisfying. So also your diet. Change your diet. There are foods out there that help deal with anxiety, that'll relax you. There's a whole list. Avocados, dark chocolate, but the real stuff. Go on and on. Coffee helps you. Tea, herbal teas. A lot of fruits and nuts, they'll help you. So Google that, check into it, see what foods you like that kind of fit that, and start changing your diet a little bit. I can tell you the processed foods that they're feeding us don't help, but kind of change your diet. I touched on cooking. I've always loved to barbecue. Okay, one, it gets me outside. Then I started smoking stuff on the smoker, meats, barbecue, and now I brought it inside. You know, when the kids were young, my wife did everything, and she's good. She can cook. Woman's got a gift. I don't, but I love doing it. So I do it now. It's relaxing. Even if I don't play music, sometimes if you're just cooking something quick, it is relaxing. The cleaning part sucks, but do what you got to do, right? But if you need a hobby, if you need something to do that's relaxing, there's a ton of YouTube videos out there that'll help you get started. Cooking is very relaxing. Here's one that blew me away a couple of years ago. I always loved nature. I loved getting outside as a kid, but once you start working, it's tough. You know, balancing work and home life and running around with the kids. It's tough to do your own thing. A couple of years ago, I went hiking at a state park not too far from here. Probably spent about 4 hours. Wasn't uphill or anything like that, rock climbing, nothing serious like that, but just kind of hiking, going off these little trails. Climbed a huge tower, had my coffee up there. It put me in like a zone that I can't explain. It took me to a stress-free level. So I started hiking. So Google county parks near you and state parks near you. Okay? They all have reviews. They'll tell you which hiking paths are short, which ones are uphill, which ones are rocky, which ones are dangerous, which ones are for beginners. I'm telling you, weather permitting, if you go on a nice hike, it is extremely relaxing. It'll clear your mind. You're breathing fresh air, which is healthy. You're getting vitamin D from the sunshine. I live in Florida, so sometimes over the summer, the bugs can be a pain, but you do what you got to do. But if you Google it, there's a lot of hidden gems near you, I'm telling you. It'll surprise you. Some easy ones: puzzles, reading, drawing, if you like drawing, painting, photography. Then it can get a little more advanced. You can get into astronomy, meditation, yoga. This stuff's kind of not for me, but it'll definitely, I know people that do a lot of these things. Astronomy's a shocker. I always love looking at the stars, but a friend of mine, he has telescopes and so forth, and he could tell you all the constellations, and he spends hours outside. And, you know, if you find a nice place to do that, he loves it. Saw a guy on a YouTube video a couple of years ago. He made terrariums in his house. And he was a kid, but he made a YouTube video out of it, and he had a huge following. And it's time consuming, but the stuff he does with it is incredible. So there's a ton of things out there, so hopefully you're doing some of these. But start with the simple ones. Get outside. The me time. You know, obviously you're going to call it your time. But whatever it takes, coffee, tea, if you want to eat outside, watch TV, lock yourself in the room, take 20 minutes, half hour, and unclutter your mind. Clear your mind, go stress-free, change your diet, and stop scrolling. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon.